Hey look! It's that time of year again, where the TF2 Workshop gets hammered with the spookiest of spooky custom maps, and this year the map nerds did provide. First, I want to showcase the stuff I've been working on, and then I'm going to briefly go over some others I've seen around the workshop and in testing that I feel are worth checking out. My number one biggest project this year for Halloween is Slime. You've likely already seen our little gameplay trailer of the map, but I thought I'd cover it a little bit more in depth. Slime is the Halloween version of our King of the Hill map, Brine. Slime features a thick, foggy, horror movie-esque atmosphere, orange egg sacs that explode when you shoot them, and of course, our new monster from the briny deep, the Salman. Interestingly, this Halloween version is what the intention of this map always was, originally concepted by Square. Way back then, we put a team together and dug into my map archives for a worthy project to rework, and settled on Trenchfoot as a good base map to fit our spooky fishing village concept. When the summer update was announced, we decided to pivot the map into the summer version first, Brine, leaving the Halloweenification for later. You'll notice some of the elements like the chest-high water and the trench route always sort of had this eerie feel, even in the Brine version, as the original idea was to feel claustrophobic and creepy like a horror movie. I've always imagined our creatures chasing players through this trench, so I'm excited to finally get to bring that to life. This is also the first map that I've gotten to really dive deep into the capabilities of Vscripting. I'm no programmer myself, so we brought Lizard of Oz onto the team to handle that side of things. You may know him as the creator of the original Verse Saxton Hail mode, and also as the person who brought it into the modern day with a recent Vscript version of it, recently added into the game. With him on our side, we were able to take the skeleton NPC as a base and heavily modified them to our needs. Salmon attack as a normal skeleton does, but also has the ability to spew forth a blast of slime that coats the players, marking them for death and lightly obscuring their vision for a bit. They have full custom animations for all of this, including this sick spawning sequence created by Hex. Also included in the map are these egg sacs that when damaged explode in a burst of slime, coating the surrounding players and dealing a small amount of damage to them. This allows the players to utilize the slime effect as a weapon against each other, marking them for death, and allowing you to dramatically ramp up your damage output against them. Besides Square, Lizard, and Hex, I was joined by Freya on the base Brine detailing that I modified into the Halloween aesthetic, as well as Badgerpig and FGD5 on custom assets. Next, I also recently released Devil Cross. Devil Cross is a Halloween version of Double Cross featuring spells, pumpkin bombs, a ton of new hazards, higher clipping ceilings, and some more open areas that used to be closed off, just for fun. I actually started this project at the same time as Double Frost, but didn't get it where I wanted it soon enough. When Double Frost got picked up and added to the game, I decided to backburner this until the time was right, picking at it in between other projects over the last couple years. I spent a ton of time polishing this one up, trying to make it feel dramatically different from the base Double Cross, while still maintaining the same solid gameplay. In testing, we found the spells make this map absolutely chaotic and hilarious, and the new death pits and unblocked areas add some variety to the already well-known map. The concept behind the map was that it was violently teleported to hell, damaging the structures and surrounding area. I leaned heavily on Diva Dan's fiery custom assets from the map Bonesaw, which I think gave it a pretty aesthetically interesting look, especially comparing it to the cold, snowy atmosphere of Double Frost. I'm working on pretty dramatically polar opposites here. I'd been interested in a long time in doing something with this look, and this map was a perfect base to work off of. I've gotten to dabble in the underworld look a lot with like Spooky Ridge, Moonshine, and Cauldron in the past, but it was fun to go for the more lava and fire route, and I think it turned out metal as hell. Once you know of me, that's like right up my alley visually. I've still got a few tricks up my sleeve for this one that I haven't yet revealed, so keep an eye out for an update soon that will add even more chaos to the map. Next, while not a new map, I'm currently working on an update for Oasis event that will bring it up to parity with the gameplay of the stock version of Oasis. This payload map is one I've always felt was super solid gameplay-wise, and the Halloween shenanigans only added to the fun of it. Oasis has always been a map that I felt was a bit overlooked, so I'm hoping that tidying up could maybe get some more eyes on it. Freya knocked the visual aesthetics out of the park with this map as a whole, as usual, but she also created an almost entirely new Egypt-themed look for it. Plus, look at this sick custom payload cart we had made up for it. Be sure to check out all of these in the workshop and vote, rate, and subscribe. It makes a huge difference, and you can help shape what maps are considered for the update by doing so. Next, I wanted to briefly cover some other cool maps I've seen around the workshop. I honestly haven't had the time to fully test all of these, so your results may vary, but from what I've seen, the community has stepped way up this year. Our new Vscripting capabilities are getting flexed hard, and I feel like Halloween is the perfect place for it to shine. First, I have to mention the new Zombie Infection game mode, created by my buddies Diva Dan and Netmuck. This is an entirely new game mode created from the ground up with Vscript. The game starts off with most players as survivors and only a small amount of zombies. Whenever a player is killed, they're turned into a zombie and switch teams. Survivors have to outlast the growing zombie horde for the duration of the map time limit to win. Zombies, on the other hand, win by turning all the other players into zombies. Most interestingly, zombie players can select a class and have brand new zombie-themed abilities for each. As of the time of recording this, scouts have a passive speed and damage boost but die extremely fast. Soldiers can launch themselves into the air, pyros are flame and other effect-based item resistant like Girardi or Milk, demomen can charge rapidly, heavies are the big tanks moving slower than normal but can deal a ton of damage, Zombie engineers can actually throw EMP bombs to temporarily disable sentries, which is an extremely powerful ability that helps the rest of the primarily melee zombies move into heavily defended areas. Medics can provide a sustained healing radius around them for other zombies. Snipers spit an acidic blast that creates a small area of damage. And last, spies can reveal and mark any leftover survivors in a radius around them, which is extremely handy for those last hiding straggler humans riding out the clock. Overall, this mode was a ridiculous amount of effort put in and is only going to be improved more over time, as it's still in very active development. There are currently 8 different maps for the mode on the workshop, and at least one dedicated server playing them 24/7 right now, so go check it out, play it, let them know what you think. Moving on to other maps, I'm going to get a bit more rapid fire for some of the new Halloween maps released this year. I recommend checking out Payload Spineyard, the event version of Vineyard. Watch out for the Skeleton Mafia though, they getting spooky. Holy Hell is an incredible reimagining of Badlands with probably one of the most impressive skybox tricks I've seen in a map. Sandcastle is to group keep in the classic rat style of shrinking down the players, with the entire map taking place in a sandbox outside of a Halloween decorated house. Perks is a wild arena-styled map that allows players to vote for their team-wide perk for each round. Some examples of this includes 25% increased movement speed, healing being 50% more effective, 2 times melee damage, and a ton of others. It creates this really interesting meta of trying to counter each other's perks, and makes every round a little bit different. Kodama is a player destruction version of Suijin, taking an already incredibly beautiful map and giving it a whole new feel. Circus is a dramatically different take on Nucleus, turning it into a wildly chaotic player destruction map with a ton of depth to it. Brew Blast is Arena Off Blast using the Arena Graveyard game mode. They did some incredible work on the aesthetics of this one. I really love the purple lighting and feel, and it'd be great to see Off Blast get some play in modern TF2 again. There's a ton more great looking maps in the workshop right now, but it'd be impossible to cover all of them. I highly recommend going and browsing it for all the cool stuff. Again, always be sure to vote, favorite, and subscribe to any of the maps that you want to see in game. Everything I talked about in this video will be in the description below. Huge shout out to Agent Maxwell and all my other Patreon supporters you see on your screen now. If you'd like to support my channel and what I'm doing, please consider checking that out. I like to drop behind the scenes pictures and video of whatever I'm working on well before I publicly start showing my projects off. So if that's something you'd find interesting, my lowest tier is $1 a month. It gets you access to all that, Discord perks, and your name at the end of my videos. If Patreon isn't your thing, Ko-Fi tips are also greatly appreciated. If you just like to chat, have mapping questions, or whatever else, my Discord server is linked in the description. Thanks for watching, now let's get spooky!